Mom Life, brought to you by the Single Mom Network. Here at the Single Mom Network, our mission is to connect single moms to the resources they need to be successful in their businesses, their careers, and dealing with the challenges we face every day as single parents. Our goal is to connect moms worldwide to the resources they need to go beyond the circumstances and the challenges they face. So I'm Jill Douglas, one of your hosts.
I'm TJ Alvarado.
And I am Stephanie Tiller.
So today we are starting out our segment this month of getting to know your hosts. And we are going to begin with our first host, Jill. Jill, why don't you tell us about yourself so all our viewers can know who you are and what you do?
Okay, well, I'll give you a little nutshell of who I am. So I grew up in Michigan, outside Detroit, and as soon as possible, which was after college, I went out west. So I love outdoors, I love nature, so when I found the mountains, I was good. I love mountains. And I have a background in environmental work and biology, science, and writing.
Okay.
And then I have done a lot of things in my life. I've done outdoor work with the Nature Conservancy, the Forest Service. I got married. I've been a teacher of kids. And then I got married and I had 2 children.
Okay.
And I'm no longer married and I still have 2 children.
Right!
Thank
Somehow
goodness.
that doesn't just go away.
So wait, do you have kids because of you like the way that things went while you were teaching them?
I've always loved kids. So I come from a big family. So I have 4 siblings, 3 brothers and 1 sister. And so I've always been around kids and I love children. And so I've always wanted a big family. So hopefully sometime in the future I have more children, whether they're my own or somebody else's. Okay. But I have 2 kids, 2 boys. So I'm in boy world. Oh. And one is almost 11 and one is 5.5.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And so, it's a roller coaster of a journey through life, and I've done blogs and photography, and I'll tell you more about what I do later. But I'm a jack of all trades, apparently.
And there's nothing wrong with being passionate and
Right.
multi-talented. Jill of all trades.
A Jill of all trades.
There you go. Jill of all
Okay,
trades.
so what highlight moment can you think of that has really shaped you into being the person that you are today? Because you have a lot that you've accomplished already. Mm-hmm. Of that, what is the highlight moment for you?
I mean, that's so hard. How do you narrow down your life?
You don't.
I know, right? But I'll say one moment that really stuck out to me that really stands out to me in my life is actually when I was 20, and I knew I was in college in Michigan, and I knew I wanted to go west and do work out there. So I decided to work for the Forest Service. And at the time, it was an unpaid internship. So, I had a stipend and stuff like that. But my parents were like, no, don't do this. You can't do that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm going to go.
Passionate.
And I went. And here's the thing that I got for myself. Not only was it amazing, it was gorgeous. I was out in the Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness, which, come on, with a name like that. And it was awesome, and the people I worked with were awesome, and I learned a lot of things like that. But what I got for myself is it's okay to be who I need to be on my path. And even, I love my parents, they're amazing people, and I respect them greatly, and I still had to make my own choice to do something that was on my heart and in my gut. And so I learned to trust my gut and trust who I am, and I could go into a new situation of any sort and come out great.
Wow.
Now, I'm sure that was a process of telling mommy and daddy, no, I'm not going to go into law. I'm not going to be a doctor. What did they want you to be?
Well, they've thought I would be a good lawyer, actually. A good politician.
I do too.
Politician. Right? They're like, you're great with people. You got to do something with people. A writer.
Nice.
Yeah, those were some of them.
Okay.
Ones. Yeah.
Now, do you have writer instinct? Do you want to write?
One of my majors in college was creative writing.
Okay.
Actually, and I wrote a blog for a long time. I currently have one that I don't keep up called Life as Lived, the journey of a created life. So that's pretty fun. And I do love writing. I have a natural, I love writing. I journal. I'm always doing some sort of writing.
Okay. So with all these things that you've been doing, and it sounds like just like us, we've evolved through.
Yeah.
You start one place and you end up in another place. So in the here and now, at this point in your life, what do you feel you were put on this earth to do? And the second part to that is, What do you want to leave behind as your footprint in this world?
You know, that's something that ever since I was a young girl, like probably 8, I have just felt like I was given so much coming into this life, and that I have a right, not a right, I have a responsibility to give back in some way. So I really feel like I'm here to empower people to live as their best selves. Like, I honestly, everybody comes into this world and is perfect and is whole and complete, and they're here for purpose, on purpose. And I think, you know, just bringing that out in people, bringing out what's special about you, what's special about you, what's special about you, and really allowing that to come into the world. Because if the world was all people being their best selves, can you imagine how amazing that would be?
Yeah.
Authentic people.
Yeah.
A world of authenticity.
So that's what I love doing, empowering people and being who they say they are, who they want to be in the world, for real.
Okay, so that brings us to the most important question. Why this platform? Why Single Mom Life? What made you crazy enough, out of all the intellect you just gave us, crazy enough to take on this journey to empower women that are single, depressed, happy, but broke, striving, thriving, looking, resurfacing? What made you want to get on this platform and say, I can make a difference?
Yeah. Honestly, like, it came about so organically and so naturally as an expression of what I already am up to in the world. I mean, I do financial coaching where I specifically work with men and women, but a lot of women around, you know, increasing their net worth. I'm a health and wellness consultant. I work with a lot of women to empower them in their health, their wealth, their, you know, confidence, all that. So for me, when I met this group, the Single Mom Network, and this podcast was presented to me as something they were doing, I was so excited because I kind of like being on stage, actually, and having fun. I would love to be like the Jill Douglas version of Mel Robbins or Rachel Hollis, because I love that.
Yes. That's good.
But also, like, you know, single moms come in so many different varieties, right? And, you know, in our demographics, I'm just going to say it, like, I'm this white girl who's sitting here like, I have problems too, and people might be like, what are you talking about?
Flavors. We have different flavors.
We do, and that's okay, because we all do in this world, right? But like, I get to speak to a community of people out there, like, even though I had, you know, a husband who worked and provided for me, and I was at home mom, and those were all incredible blessings, there were things that weren't working for me, and I felt trapped.
Right.
And so there are people out there who look on the surface like they have it all. And we don't necessarily, you know, and I had lost myself. So for me to be able to speak to people who can relate to something like that is important to me, to say, you are strong enough to be on your own. You're strong enough to, you know, get out of a situation that doesn't work for you. You're strong enough. You are strong enough. You know, you are enough, and you deserve that. So that's really, you know, I can get up on a soapbox about it, but really, like, you know, no one needs to suffer through life about stuff like that. But in the moment, it's scary.
I have something that keeps sticking out, that when you said, I lost myself, that's significant.
Yeah.
Because obviously you regained who you were, you reinvented Jill.
Yeah.
We've even had a chance in a small time frame, we've had a chance to watch you grow. From, I don't know what to say, to, I love being on camera. Picture time. So when you say, I lost myself, what advice would you give to a woman that is going through the same thing you went through? She's in a relationship, or she has a husband, she has children. Everything may be good, or things may not be good. Either way, she's lost herself. She's lost who she is, how she really feels about her value and her place in the world. What would you say to her?
You know, here is one thing that I think is so important, and this is whether you are a single mom or a mom who has a partner and you're the main caregiver. Because I know for me, even when I was the caregiver and I had a partner, you lose yourself in your children. You lose yourself in the house, the keeping up of the house. You lose yourself in that, and you forget who you are and what you want to do in the world. And let me tell you, someday your kids are going to be gone, hopefully. You know, out of the house, independent. That's who you're training them to be. So if there's not a you left, what do you have? So I guess I would say, to answer your question, spend some time with you. Like, whether that means going to the spa, or whether that means going out into nature, or whether that means, you know, whatever for you centers you into you, go do that. And then take some time to really connect with yourself, and who do you want to be in the world? What do you want to leave behind? Raising children and raising the next generation is one of the most important jobs we could possibly do. And we need to fill our own cups, and we need to be our own expression, because guess what? Your children are also watching you, you know? And when you're this diminution, this smaller version of you, that's an example too. You know, so I would say go take some time to be with you, to be with yourself, just be with yourself, find out what lights you up and do more of that. Make that a conscious decision. Get out of the house, do something without your children. Period. I don't care what it takes. You love them, they know you love them, they're gonna be okay. Get out of the house, do something for you.
That's pretty sound advice.
Whether you're married or single or partnered or whatever, and especially if you're single, we've talked about this on the show. But like, I had a moment when I said to myself, I moved out, you know, out on my own, my children. I said to myself, okay, well, I'm a single mom now. I could sit here and do nothing, or I could figure it out. I do like coaching for a leadership training program. I work a business where I go places. I mean, you know, I have a life. I gotta make it work. And my kids sometimes need to have the rest of their community care for them.
Now, to get to that point, there are downtimes that people never really talk about, and it's a part of the process. It's a part of everybody's journey, and it's quite embarrassing sometimes. Did you have to cry yourself through some stuff? Did you have to seek therapy through some stuff?
So, yes. So, crying. Being angry, letting the anger out for what expectations you had that were not met, whether they're about yourself or another person. You have to get that just out, not to stay there, but to get them out so you have a clean slate. And yes, there's so many tools. Like I have an amazing therapist who I've worked with for years, and I see still now sometimes. I've done an amazing program that anyone can do called the Landmark Forum, and it gets you cleared up about so much stuff in life and empowered in whatever is important to you. So, and that's work I consistently do because it keeps me empowered in my life. It keeps me on the court in my life.
Nice.
And it's just, I get to be alive.
Right.
Being alive and alive, you know? Some of us are alive and we're dead. But like, you know, you can be alive and alive.
That's when they say don't just live, don't just exist, but live.
Yes.
Awesome. So this newfound Jill.
And thankfully she was there. Like, you know, I got to get reacquainted with a person I had not been acquainted with for years, and now I'm back and I get to expand her. So that's pretty cool. So expansion, I mean, you know, in my business, I just am looking forward to empowering so many other people to live a healthier lifestyle, live a wealthier lifestyle, be a contribution for themselves in the world and beyond, you know? So that's a huge focus for me. Dating again. I'm excited to start dating again, you know, and get into that world of, you know, what that's going to look like.
Are you nervous?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I haven't done that for a while. One.
Okay. How'd it go?
It was okay.
It was okay.
Good.
I got a little freaked out. But, you know, really, it's taken on my business. It's taken on, you know, being a great role model for my kids and really holding them to account for who they get to be in the world. And then, getting into partnership again, newly.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
You gave us a ton of great advice. I really don't have anything to add to the advice. I mean, do you? She's really
no, because anything that I have to say, I would be trying. We have an off-camera kind of conversation that we should have.
Yeah, definitely. But if you would like to know more about Jill, we invite you to drop a note down in the comments, because we will, in future shows, cover those questions for you. So
Yeah,
we
if there's
just
something
want
you're
to-
wondering about, you know.
her dating life. No. So we want to thank you for tuning into The Single Mom Life, sponsored by the Single Mom Network.
Make sure you guys are following our Facebook and Instagram pages at The Single Mom Life US.
And at the Single Mom Network.
Oh, and check out our YouTube pages as well to catch up on all of our episodes, past, future, and anything else that we have in the future.
That's right. So join us again next week where you can find out about another one of us as your guest host. And come back to the Single Mom Life where dreams meet opportunity.